Hello, Graham.
Hey, hold on a sec. I've got to set up my speakers, my
Okay.
headphones.
Happy to see you nonetheless. Hello. Good morning.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. Can you
Here,
hear
hold
me?
on. I have to change my inputs. There, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Perfect. Yes.
We made
Now I
it.
can. That
It wa-
works.
it
That
wasn't easy.
works.
Yeah. Well, first
Mm-mm.
of all, happy to see you, and thank you for giving up out a little bit of your time to the iSurf audience.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
okay, we got 12 hours difference. It's morning over here. I'm having an espresso.
Yep. I think it's even 11 hours now because Hawaii doesn't do a time change.
Oh, okay, great. So first of all, you're just in Maui, right? From a week.
Correct.
How's it doing in Maui?
It's good. We haven't had much wind, but looks like the wind is coming back next week, and I'm really looking forward to getting on the water.
How's the situation with COVID-19?
Um, I don't know. So we'll see. I mean, like everywhere, there's a lot of uncertainty. So right now there are not a lot of cases on Maui, but I think there's more than there were a month ago, or maybe 2 months ago, as people are starting to come. So they opened up the travel before tourism wasn't really allowed. You had to do a 2-week quarantine, but now if you have a negative test, you can get out of that.
Okay, so
So
so you fly in and you don't have to wait 2 weeks.
as long as you have a test, as long
Okay,
as you have a negative test,
okay,
yeah.
that's interesting. For people who are willing to fly it actually, to fly.
But I don't know. I don't know if that's going to continue. I don't know if that'll
Yeah, yeah. The
continue.
situation
See
is
what
changed. We
happens.
we have a light lockdown now in Italy. You probably,
Okay.
yeah.
What does that mean? Can you go surfing? Can you go
Yeah, yeah,
windsurfing?
yeah, 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 yeah. That's safe for now.
Okay.
Now we cannot go to restaurants after 18
Okay.
hours a night, stuff like that. I mean,
Okay. Okay.
okay. So people, of course, I mean, know you very well, but probably they know the athlete part. They know the sailor. Can you talk a little bit about yourself? Can you say? I mean, I recently discovered last year that you're married or your partner is a German girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Can
So
you-
my wife is
Right.
German, and we've got a little boy who's about to turn 3 in December. And so my life is between Europe and Hawaii. So we try to spend the summers in Europe, and then spring and fall in Hawaii, and then the winter a bit everywhere. Depends on the year.
Where about in Germany do you go?
In Hamburg. My wife
Hamburg.
is from Hamburg, and so that's where we're
That's a very
based.
different life from Maui, isn't it?
Yeah, completely different. So I like Germany and I like Hamburg, but it can be hard to live there. The hardest thing is just the distance from the ocean. It's there's good windsurfing nearby, nearish by, 2 hours, 1 hour, 4 hours,
Okay.
depending. There are different spots. But the problem is when it's so far away, as I'm sure so many Europeans know, it just makes it really difficult to get those maybe sessions. So you only go on the for sure forecast, and it just means that you're not sailing that much. Whereas at Hokipa, you can go, not only is there more often wind, but you can go on a day where maybe there's not wind and you can check it out and there's nothing lost. It's different than driving 4 hours to Klitmuller and getting skunked.
Right. So do you sail with Leon Jamer and the guys from Germany?
Yeah, yeah. I'm always in contact with Leon. He's a good resource because I'm quite new to the area, so I don't know
So
necessarily
you need to know where to
what
go. Yeah.
exactly, because there's all the different wind directions and they work in all these different spots, and
And I assume you
so
guys
I'm
go a lot
always
to
calling him.
Denmark. You go to cold Hawaii.
Yeah, yeah. Denmark could be very good.
Yeah, excellent. All right. So this is a bit about yourself. And do you train? I was wondering. Do you train when you're off the water? Do you do when you're in Germany, for instance?
Yeah, so I mean, I've had to kind of start doing a program. So when I was younger, a lot younger, I used to do a lot of training, but then through most of my training 20s, it's like after I was like 22 or something till 29 or something, I really didn't train that much. I was just doing a lot of um, just activities. So I'd be going in the water, I'd be surfing, windsurfing, cycling, whatever else. And now though that I'm spending this time in Germany, I need to have a good gym
Right.
routine,
Yeah.
because otherwise I'm just not active enough. So that's something that I've had to try to figure out.
Right. Or maybe complement with another sport, like we Europeans do, put a little bit of
Yeah,
anything else. Yeah.
yeah. We'll see. It's not as easy as just going in the water, which is so
Yeah.
fun,
Yeah.
but it's important to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I was going through your resume, your athlete resume. It's quite impressive. And I pulled it up from your site.
Oh, thank you.
By the way, you got a very interesting website, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Your writing.
I think it's not updated for I don't know how many years,
Okay.
but
Yeah, it looks
thanks.
like there's a bit of gap, but you will fill the gap. So I read through the list. So now Cabo Verde Expression Session 2009. Is that the mythological Cape Verde with the super big conditions?
No, that was 2007.
Okay.
The huge year was 2007.
Okay. Then first Hatteras Wave Jam, first Essaouira Wave Classic 2010, AWT Cactus Cup, first World Performance Event Japan. And the long goes and on until we reach Third Law Classic 2018, which is quite recent, and Multivan German Surf Cup. What was your favorite win?
I don't know. A few of those wins have been pretty fun or made me proud for certain reasons. So like the German one, so that was the German championships, and I wasn't sure whether I would be allowed to compete, and so I had some contact with the organizers before that event, and it looked like from the forecast, it looked like conditions that I was going to really like, and so I went with my friend Flo, and I think in the end the Germans were all kind of pissed that they allowed me to compete because then I ended up winning. I beat Leon in
Right,
the final.
right.
Um,
Oh, so here
of
comes
the
the Hawaiian and takes the prize away.
yeah. So it was kind of a funny experience, because at first like yeah of course you can come, but then when I won I think they were a
You're
little
not
bit
supposed to win. You can come, but
upset.
you're not supposed to win.
Yeah. And then the events in Japan as well I was pretty proud of. So it's a spot that I really like in Omiyazaki. It's like kind of side on shore, starboard tack, pretty fun wave, and I've been there quite a bit. And like those events, like one of the events I won, there was a pretty stacked field with Victor was there, Camille Juban was there, um, Goya, Denny Bruce, I don't know, a bunch of guys, and so I was pretty
Right.
proud of
And,
to
and
win
you do
with
sail a
that
lot
fleet.
in South Africa too. Is that right?
Yep, I try to go every winter for a few weeks,
Is
but
that
it
for
depends on the
your
year.
is that for your Portac sailing?
Exactly. Coming from Hawaii, as you know, we get predominantly wind from the right, and so it's very difficult to get well-rounded if you just stay on Maui.
Yeah. I know you call Andrea pretty every now and then. He told me Andrea Rosati.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's an
yeah,
expert, right? He's like the leading
yeah,
expert in South Africa.
yeah.
He knows all
He
about.
does.
Yeah,
So like my goal is not to be the best with any of these things, but to know who knows. So then, okay, I know in South Africa I call Andrea. For around Germany I call Leon. These different spots I've got people to call, and
you'll be watching
helps me make the
this, so you
decision.
can say hello to Andrea for sure.
Okay, hey, ciao. Yeah,
But
he's an expert.
he's a great expert, and people call him up a lot. I used to call him up a lot when I went to
Yeah.
South Africa too.
Uh,
Excellent. Um, so what's your favorite is your favorite tack is obviously starboard.
I like both. I mean, I'm definitely more comfortable with starboard tack. It's what I grew up with. It's what I dream in. If you think about dreaming in a certain of windsurfing. But I also like Portac, and I've sailed a lot of Portac now in the last few years, and so it's something I'm comfortable with.
Okay, excellent. Let's go through your moves. I mean, your favorite moves. I've read that you've invented quite a few, which is very interesting. I've seen the no hand push loop, which is something I wasn't even aware it existed. That's pretty impressive. I mean, rotating a push loop without touching the boom. Then 1 foot push loop, tabletop, carving taka, hangover, back loop off the lip. The hangover is the grabby on the wave, right? Kind of.
So it's like yeah, kind of like an air grabby on the wave.
Yeah, I've seen that in Maui
Yeah.
by Kevin Costner. Kevin, I lost him. Costner.
Philip.
With Philip Costner, not Kevin.
Yeah.
And I was surprised. He told me that I thought it was just invented, and he said, no, if you guys do it in Pozzo, and then I was reading through your moves, and it comes out that you've been one of the first, or probably the first to do it.
Yeah, so it depends. So there's the backside one and the frontside ones.
All right.
I was the first one to do the frontside ones, and then on the backside, I don't know who was the first to do that. I think Ricardo, actually.
Okay. So what is your favorite move out of them all?
I like everything. Depends on the day. I really like doing the takas and the one-handed takas, and I really like how those look. And I was the first person to do those.
You seem very comfortable doing them. I can tell you. I was watching.
Yeah,
it looks like it's a no effort move for you. Like
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, the 360s. I like. It depends on the day. For me now, what I focus on more than the moves is the flow. So fitting in to the waves, what the waves want done. So rather than putting something onto the waves, reading from the waves what fits, and then doing that, fitting into the wave as much as possible.
Right. I have a question from a very special fan of yours. Giulio Gasperini, Raimondo's.
Yeah, of course.
He got a very good results in Europe. He was second in the youth division, and he was asking. He would like to know how to land the goiter on a wave. He's trying the goiter, and he wants to know what he's supposed to do to land it on a wave versus on the back side of the wave.
Yeah, so when you're learning the goiter, there's 2 steps really. One is just getting the rotation and then going out the back. And then the other is, once you have the rotation, how do you bring that back in front of the wave? And so it sounds like he's got the first step done. So then, okay, how do you bring that back into the wave? And that is pretty difficult. And it's all about timing and where you're throwing your body. Well, yeah, so where you're hitting on the wave, and also where you're throwing your body. So you want to throw your body. So if this is the lip of the wave and you're coming,
right,
and like this is your feet on the board, you're not coming like this. You're coming like under the curl of the wave. You're fitting the board in the curl of the wave, so the wave is throwing it forward.
That looks difficult.
You're jumping like with your body, so then your body's kind of like horizontal like this in front of the wave. So you're jumping this way.
Yeah.
You're not jumping up, or you're not jumping. You're jumping
in front of the wave. Is it a bit like getting the aerial done in front of the wave? No.
Very similar. Very similar.
So hitting the lip at the right time when the lip is pushing you back towards the wave. Yeah.
Exactly.
Ok Giulio, tutto chiaro? Adesso da domani you need to land the goiter. Devi riuscire a fare il goiter. Ok.
I'm watching.
Yeah, I was following you on Facebook, and I know you're doing a lot to develop the sport, and you're trying to you set up this community of hardcore sailors who want to know how to improve, not just hardcore, but wave sailors who want to improve their wave sailing skills. How is that working out, and if you can tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's been great. So when the quarantine started, I started doing live coaching just on Instagram, and it was just a way for me to give back. People were stuck at home, and I had no idea of where it would go. And there was a very positive response, and I enjoyed doing the teaching. So then I moved it from Instagram to a Facebook group, a dedicated Facebook group. And we've got a really great community of hardcore sailors and enthusiasts and people who just love windsurfing or want to get better at windsurfing. And every Sunday at 9 o'clock European time, I do a free live coaching session. And so people can ask questions, send photos, send videos.
So that's over 1,000 followers you got there, right? 1,000 members of the community. Correct. Yeah. That's very good.
Correct.
Okay, I'll say that in Italian if you don't mind.
Of
Graham ha
course.
messo su una comunità per lo sviluppo del windsurf, del website del Windsurf Wave, e quindi tutte le sere di domenica alle 8 europee, quindi alle 8 nostre, c'è questa trasmissione dove lui dà dei consigli tecnici sulla base di video o foto. Ok, we got that out of the way. Right, a little bit of materials. You're okay. You're obviously from the nobility of windsurfing. You know, your father was your father was one of the first to sell Okipa, one of the the beginning group in Okipa, and then he set up the Cell factory, the Cell brand. First, it was, I think, a special line from North, right? And then it went on to become a brand on its own. I remember having sales actually. To be
So he started, Ezzy Sales started in 83,
right.
and then North at that time, or maybe Ezzy started in 82, but North a little bit later wanted to start doing wave sales, so they partnered with him. So the first sales, the North Wave sales, they were North Ezzy Waves, and so they had the Ezzy logo as well. You know, the same Ezzy logo as now on them with the North logo. And then he designed for North until I think 93, and then in 94, or left in 93, and then in 94 started Ezzy Sales back again.
Right, and they've always been super strong. I mean, I remember that the quality was like the main theme there, right? Quality and durability. So what's new with Ezzy Sales this year?
Yeah, so we focused a lot on performance with the wave sales. So really trying to make a lightweight, but still durable, still high quality sail that can perform in all conditions. So up until this year, we had kind of more of like a power wave sail and more of a maneuverable wave sail and kind of an all-round wave sail. And this year we're working on a new line to kind of replace those to be a sail that works everywhere. So before I used to use a different sail at Hokipa is what I would use in Europe. And now with the Ezzy Wave, I can use that sail everywhere. It's really light, really maneuverable, but still has the early planing and power that you need for conditions in Europe.
Right. How would you describe the Ezzy sailor? I mean, how are Ezzy sails different from if there is any difference, relevant difference compared to other sails? What is it? You know.
Yeah, so the sails are made very, very different. The philosophy is quite different. So I mean, you talked about the quality, so there's this big emphasis on quality, but also on how the shape is put into the sails. So traditionally, or most of the sails on the market, they get their shape from the luff curve and from bending the mast against the luff curve. With the Ezzy sail, it's getting most of the shape from the broad seaming. So there still is luff curve, and so you're still getting shape from the mast, but there's also a lot of shape sewn into the sail. So broad seaming is the shape you get when you sew two panels together and they're not straight, right? So at the battens, and so there's a lot of that broad seaming in the sail rather than luff curve shaping.
So that makes them very powerful compared to other sails.
It's less about the power and more about the stability.
Stability. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. How about the boards? You ride Taboo, right?
Yep.
Okay. Is that have you been on the new equipment yet, or is it not out yet? Probably, right?
Yeah. No, I've tried the new decurves, and yeah, I'm really happy with these boards, and I really like working with Fabian, the shaper, from Taboo. He's a good guy and a great shaper, and so I have production boards, but I also have custom boards, and I've got some. He's always happy to make, kind of crazy prototypes if I want to try something different. I've got some asymmetric boards or some different experiments, and
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
he's always keen.
A little bit on your passion for writing. I mean, first of all, you got that's something extraordinary. You got a degree in literature from Princeton, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're also in the intellectual field, the intellectual nobility of the windsurfing. I mean, to be fairly honest, I mean, in the trips and the people I've
Mhm,
met, they are all very intellectually stimulating. Windsurfers are fairly amazing, even
mhm.
top windsurfers. But
Yeah, it's a difficult sport, you know, it takes a lot of perseverance. So it takes someone with a strong mind. I mean, think of the beginning when you're
that's
pulling that
absolute. I
sail
couldn't agree more.
up and up, pulling. It's terrible.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
had conversations with Tomas and Leon around in Madagascar around the
Hmm.
table that I was
Okay.
not expecting to have with windsurfers. So it's
Yeah.
and Levi. I mean, they're Marcelo Brown. They're
Hmm.
all incredibly interesting people. Okay, taking that aside, your passion for writing. Uh, how
Hmm.
how did that happen, and how do you nurture your passion?
So I've always been interested in writing. Um, I, d- I don't think I've ever really, maybe recently, but considered it that I'm good at it. And so it's something that I've always done on the side. Like it has never been my main focus. Like I've always done like windsurfing or different things. And where did it come from? I think it comes from a love of reading. So I love to read, and the writing comes from that. And so I write different things. You know, at different times in my life, I've been more interested in different kinds of writing. Like I read a lot of poetry when I was in university, and then I tried to write some fiction after that, and now I write mainly essays. I really like the essay form.
Okay, a bit
So
of this can be experienced on your website, which has very interesting articles on
yeah,
life
I've got a little
that
writing.
people should definitely go and check it out. And also, there's a short segment that I strongly encourage people to see on Waves. It's a 4-minute segment. It's pure art, if you ask me, and it gives
Thank you.
yeah, it gives the experience that you have on the water when you're sailing, and what waves mean to
Hmm.
surfers and windsurfers. It's a must. I would have liked to put it on here, but you know that we've been technically challenged before, so I
Yeah.
didn't I didn't even dare to try. But I will try
Yeah.
to do something, off stage. So.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'm proud of that one.
Okay, I was checking, the YouTube stats of my video channel, and if you look at the breaks in age, it's completely missing the bracket 25-35. No, so we have the 35 and over, with a peak
Hmm.
around more than 35, to be honest, which is when
Hmm.
windsurfing began, the 80s.
Hmm.
Then we have a little bit of the younger generation, which tend to be the sons and daughters of
Hmm.
people who sail. They're not exclusively,
Hmm.
but they tend to be. But if you see the 25-35 is completely lost. I mean, I will show you the curve if you're interested afterwards.
Yeah.
Uh, how did that happen? Why do you think windsurfing missed this generation?
I don't know. I mean, that's one of these big questions that I think lots of people have different answers for, and I don't know. I think there's, you know,
Is
a
it
natural ebb
economics,
and
or
flow.
is it economics, or there's something has been done wrong in the industry where we haven't nurtured the base? What happened? I mean, it's
I don't know. I mean, I think it's, you know, at that same time, there's a lot of sport options, right? So from mountain biking to surfing in most places to these sports didn't exist in the same way before that. They were not as accessible. So
right.
there's a lot of adrenaline sports
Competition, right?
that are accessible right now.
Yeah, and maybe not
Um,
as costly because windsurfing is very costly, isn't it?
yes,
Yeah, I think
yes,
it's
less
more.
costly and accessible. You know, you don't need to buy a van. You don't need to have parents who are happy to drive you to the beach.
It's more expensive than golfing. I can tell you that for sure. Golfing is considered to be the elite sport. No, not so. Okay, who's your favorite athlete and competitor, if you got any? So who do you first
um,
of all, who do you really like, and do you really fear, if they're the same person or not the same person?
I don't know if I really fear anyone. I don't think I do. I mean, maybe it depends on the place. You know, Philip is pretty amazing in Pozo. I wouldn't want to get him there. Um, but in Maui, there's no one that I would fear to go against. And then there's a lot of people I really like to watch. Um, Brasinho is sailing really good. I really like, he's not sailing so much anymore, but Cowley,
Right.
Levi, who's a friend and mentor to me, and I
Who's the
still really
most
like
creative
watching him.
sailor, in your opinion, of out of the lot? The guy who's most inventive. That you
The
you
most
you watch him and
creative.
you say, "Oh God!" I mean, I've never seen this before.
Um, that's a good question.
It's a hard question, I know.
I think, I mean, he's not sailing anymore, but Mark Angulo probably takes that prize.
The mutant.
Um, yeah, just everything. I mean, he was experimenting so much. You didn't know what you were gonna see with him. I like to watch. There's a lot of people I like to watch nowadays. Bent Roediger, like I said, Levi and Brasinho. But for creativity, I'm not sure.
Okay, good.
Mark Angulo takes the
Mark,
overall.
great.
Yeah.
Another thing I was curious, do you plan your heat when you are in competition? So before you start the heat, do you actually think I'm going to be doing this and that, or do you check on the competitor? How does that work?
It depends. So for somewhere where they're counting a jump, I think it's very important to get a jump in early. Otherwise, you're hunting for your jump later in the heat, which is not good. So that's an important tactic. And then otherwise, wave selection. So I'm looking to get the two best waves in a heat, and that is the tactic. And then after I get those waves, it's just a matter of riding them.
And do waves match moves, moves match waves, or how does it go? I mean, do you see a wave and then you think, okay, this wave would be perfect to do a goiter, or this wave would be perfect to do a
Yeah, yeah. And so I try and fit in the flow of the wave and see what the wave offers, and
okay,
try and get in as many turns as possible, which is, I think, so get the best waves and ride them the
okay.
most is.
Without stealing from your program, what's the
Yeah,
secret of rail to rail wave riding, if there is a secret?
yeah, join my coaching group.
I will for sure.
So I think, with being on the rails, it's just really important to think about using the board like this rather than like this.
Right.
It's really that simple. And so then using your body and your body power to get the board working in these dimensions rather than these dimensions. Something I tell my students when I'm teaching, on the Sundays, or I did a clinic as well in Denmark, is that it's if you're working hard, you're doing it wrong. There's, decades, since the 60s, there's experience in shaping boards. Your board has so much technology and experience behind it for working in the water and working in a wave, that you don't need to be working hard. You just have to get it on the sides. That's
Right.
it. It'll do the work for
Right.
you.
No, that's amazing.
Put
I
it
mean,
in the
if
right
I can,
place. Put it in the right place. So you
right.
need to be in the right place on the wave.
I mean, if I can put my 5 cents here, it makes the whole difference. I mean,
Mm,
I've been sailing on Kiva in 2016. I wasn't aware
hmm
even that rail to rail
hmm
existed. I was watching and seeing a lot of difference. And then when you understand that it's all about the rail, your sailing really changes.
hmm
It takes a while. Okay, we don't have to actually run an hour because no one is going to watch an interview that lasts an hour. But so I'm fairly done with my questions. Would you like to add anything? I mean, I have one more question on isurf. What does isurf stand for you? I'd like to get a quote of you on my website if that's possible.
um, what is isurf? So I mean, I know isurf through you, and you are incredibly enthused, smiling at the beach, trying to figure out what's happening. I remember, I think, doing an interview behind my car, capturing it on
Yeah,
the
I was
recorder
talking
in the
you
wind.
already. I was talking your mouth,
So
and
it's
I remember once I gave you a quote, I give you a line. I said, "You're always in for the late sessions," no? And
Yep.
you corrected me and you said for the later sessions. And I was amazed
Yeah.
because I mean, how's this get so careful about words? And then I discovered that you got a degree in literature, and I said, okay, that makes a lot of sense. That was why. Yeah, you're a
Yeah,
late guy
yeah,
in Cuba, no? You're always a later guy, so you always
yeah,
come
I like.
for, yeah,
Yeah, I
that,
think there's a really good session between 4 and 6. It's a little bit less
yeah,
crowded.
yeah.
The
People
waves
are
are cleaner.
tired. They don't sell so
Yeah,
aggressively anymore. Yeah, so the
like
waves
people
are,
get really pumped for the like 12 to 2
yeah,
session,
yeah.
and I don't like that as much. It's like too many people on the water.
You know why? Because
It's a
Jimmy
little.
App is there.
Yeah, exactly.
So they go for the shoot, no?
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly.
He's always early. It's 11 to 1.
Yeah,
So after 1, you miss the thing, no? So
yeah, yeah,
I like
exactly.
your philosophy, actually. Okay, Graham, it
So
was
for
great.
me,
Yeah.
yeah. So I was
Well,
just going to say, for me, iSurf is then this enthusiasm and passion and
thank you for that.
curiosity.
That's really appreciated. Okay, so I'm done with my question. Would you like to add anything else to the Italian and non-Italian audience?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. I hope everyone gets some wind and with the COVID restrictions is still able to get on the water. And yeah,
I'll snap a promise from you here. Will you come to
yeah,
sell Banzai? Do you know Banzai is our top spot in Rome? Will you come to sell it with us once? Next time you're in Germany,
yes, I'd love to. I'd love to.
you have to come.
Yeah,
You have to
yeah.
come to
Just
Sardinia.
send me when there's a cast, write it to me. I
You've been
know
to
Sardinia's on the
Sardinia.
list.
You've been to
No, but
Sardinia.
it's on the
No?
list.
Okay, so we
It's on
do
the
we do
list.
Banzai and Sardinia on one shot next time you're in Europe. Okay.
Okay. Okay,
Well,
sounds
Graham,
good.
thank you very much and good luck for the coming back of the wind on Maui.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye.